afternoon once again. Welcome to our second session this Saturday, 21st day of May, and the third day of the PTM annual conference. My name is Mary Beth Chima. If you're just joining us for the first time today, I am the convener of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and community on Facebook. I am always excited to be on your screen, especially when I'm talking about parenting, or I am with people who are talking about parenting. All right, so we're going to be bringing up our guest in a few minutes. We're sorry that we're starting a few minutes late. Okay, we're sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to bring our guest up in a few minutes. But before then, we're going to read out her profile to you so that you know the caliber of people that we have brought to bring you all this goodness today. Hang in there, please.
Dr. Lola Okiowo is a trained medical doctor and an autism professional. She works with parents of children with speech delay and autism by equipping them with tools and strategies to help move their children from little or no words to language explosion. She is the founder of Autism Renewed, an online consulting practice that focuses on helping children navigate developmental challenges and thrive. She is the host of the Autism Renewed Conference, an annual conference put together to educate parents and the public on how to help children overcome developmental challenges. She has a vast knowledge in language development, nutrition, and behavioral management. With these, she created her signature program known as the Milestone Accreditation Program. This is a comprehensive training program that teaches parents how to help their children overcome challenges in speech, language, social skills, and behavioral management and begin to thrive. Dr. Lola believes in putting the power in the hands of parents because a well-informed and equipped parent provides a child with a parenting advantage that helps them to navigate through challenges and triumphs.
All right, so I'm going to be bringing Dr. Omolola right on screen right away. All right, good doctor. Good day, Dr. Omolola. You're not joining us from Nigeria, so this is probably morning or evening for you.
11:13 p.m. actually.
Oh, wow, 11 p.m. All right. So thank you very much for being here today, for accepting to be here today. We do not take your presence for granted. Dr. Omolola, every time you're talking about children with special needs, or you have coaches or educators or people who want to educate people on special needs, very few parents show up. Have you noticed? Very few parents,
yes, I think,
show up. Sometimes you could actually have a bunch of parents who are there to, listen to everything else and all of that. The moment you say special needs or anything like that, everybody walks away like, this is not my thing. I don't have a special need child and all of that. So, that denial.
My session today will give parents a different perspective, because I have a little bit of a different perspective on the whole thing. And like you always say, is information and knowledge. People are not well informed, so that's why you have things like that. A lot of parents are not informed. Even the public, even educators, even professionals, even colleagues of mine. So, and you cannot operate beyond the knowledge that you have. So when you see things like that, is a gap that we need to fill with more awareness, more information, equip people with more information and knowledge. And I think that narrative they'll begin to look at things differently, really. Yeah.
Exactly, because most times there are people that I follow both online and people that I know, and you realize parents who have children who are challenged in one way or the other don't even have early intervention, or do not even they don't get to know about this. And it's for this same reason that we're talking about, because nobody wants to associate. It's as if I even try to know about it or try to act like I'm interested, then it's going to happen to me. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like,
and there's so much stigma. So people won't want to associate with the diagnosis because
Yes.
when they embrace the diagnosis, it's like people mark them and exclude them. So
Wow.
they'll feel non-included. Do you understand? So they don't want to associate with it because it means that automatically they're excluded from the public. And those are some of the narratives I want to change, because even the whole word of the special need, I particularly don't like that word really. I'll talk about that when I'm because
Okay.
the truth is that I believe while there may be some differences with parenting a child with what we call special needs, it's still parenting. Every child
All
has
right.
a different need. Every child is special. So if you take it that way, your journey just may be different, but it's still parenting. And all it takes is
Wow.
intentional parenting. Even some of the parents that are running away, they have a child that has a different need. It's just not been identified or diagnosed. That's all.
It's actually really very
So they are
simple now that you're
struggling
saying
as
it.
well. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's the narrative. Look at when we're growing up, a lot of our colleagues that were termed Olodo, they were not brilliant. They had a different ability and they needed something more that no one was able to provide to them. That's why they were termed that way. But sometimes, because the need, if it is not obvious physically, they don't term it special need. That's what I
Yeah.
said. Every child has a different need. And some children, if they are taken on a different journey intentionally, eventually they
Hmm.
won't even have that label. So for me, I try to balance. I don't particularly like when we use those words, but I understand where the need for the word is coming, just for people to
Yeah.
understand what's going on. But I just see it as parenting and identifying the needs of this child and taking that child
Hmm.
on the journey to thriving. So the labeling is not, do you understand what I'm
Necessary.
saying?
Yeah.
Because the diagnosis does not define the process. Okay, after you have given the diagnosis, what does so people now sit with the diagnosis and assume and deal with the child from the place of a diagnosis. And I'm like, you don't deal with a child that, okay, but the child now has this diagnosis, Down syndrome. So everything wrong with the child is because of the Down syndrome. No, there are milestones this child can achieve. What the diagnosis does for you is just to know what you're dealing with and how to help this child thrive. But people now take a diagnosis and assume the child cannot, now limit what a child can do. I tell you something. Do you know that I've heard of 22-year-old that has never spoken in his life? 22.
Wow.
Encountered someone with the right skill to support him. In 1 year, the guy is talking. What does
Wow.
that tell you? The child had the
Is it
ability all along. And that's what I
all
always
this
tell
while?
people. One of my favorite quotes is this: if a child does not learn the way you teach the way the child learns.
Change the way the child learns.
But what happens is that most of these kids have not found someone skilled to support their unique needs and take them on their unique journey to thrive. So that kind of child that was labeled with a diagnosis of special need, because now that he can speak and has overcome all those challenges, what happens? So he's no more a special needs child. Do you understand where I'm coming from now?
It doesn't need special needs
What I'm
anymore.
saying.
I think all of these things are education, just as you said. It's learning and
So that's
understanding
why
because
my
really,
narrative is I don't really like the word because it puts a
okay.
child in a box and kind of like defines a child's ability. Every child can thrive and learn. You need someone skilled with how to teach, how to train, how to help the child navigate the challenges and thrive. Until you find that, you assume, because if a 22-year-old can talk in 1 year, that means he had the ability all along.
Could have talked all this
But he
while.
was 10. Do you understand? The same thing with a lot of children struggling in school. The modality of teaching. And for me, that's why a parent's role is very important. Like I said in my profile, I believe in putting the power in the hands of the parent. Do you know why? One of the reasons is this. Sometimes parents don't know their children well enough. Parents put their children in the wrong school, on the wrong environment, and they're
Hmm.
stressing the school. The school is not helping my child. Meanwhile, that school is not a right environment for their child. Do you understand what I mean? So
Yeah,
sometimes you're stressing the educators. Can you hear me?
I can't. Dr. Omolola, just 1 minute. It's looking as if we're not on Facebook, and I don't know why.
Oh, really? Let me
Yeah,
see.
it's looking as if we're not on Facebook, and I don't know why. Because, sorry, are we on Facebook?
I'm trying
I
to
think
check
it
from my
was. It
end.
says it looks like the broadcast was deleted on Facebook. Okay. I think you know what
Oh,
happens
really?
usually. It's Are we on Facebook?
I see us on Facebook.
Because I think what
Hold
happens
on.
is when the broadcast is a bit delayed, it gets cancelled on Facebook.
Oh, but that's 10 minutes. But I think we're on before 10 minutes. They give you 10 minutes to.
Because I can't
Or do you
see
want
us
us to
on
do?
Facebook.
Do you want us to
Yeah,
do
I
a
can't
new
see us on
broadcast?
Facebook. Yeah, I can't
Do you want
see
to do
us
a
on
new broadcast?
Facebook.
Do you want to do a
Okay,
new broadcast and share again?
I may have to do that because I have really, because on Instagram, it means on YouTube is going to be okay. Let's do a new broadcast. It's the message that is
Okay.
important. It's not how we look.
Yes,
All right
exactly.
then.
We'll have
All
two
right. So
videos.
sorry about that. Yes, sorry about this. If you're with us right now, if you're watching, you're probably watching on YouTube. We're sorry, we would have to start this broadcast all over again because I think something went wrong with
Sorry
Facebook. It's
about
actually
that.
showing me a caution
Yes.
here. Thank you very much, Dr. Omolola, for your patience. We'll just do this and we'll make it fast. All right, man.